All right, welcome, folks. We are on stop 5 of our Smart Growth Awards tour. Eric Alexander, Vision Long Island. We started in the village of Hempstead. We were in the village of Westbury. We were in the village of Lynbrook. We made it up to Huntington's downtown. And now we are in Inwood and Lawrence, really at the epicenter by the Lawrence train station of a really creative rezoning plan that was approved by the town of Hempstead. We're here to deliver a Smart Growth Award to these good folks between the town of Hempstead's councilman, Bruce Blakeman, who led the charge along with Cameron Engineering that did the plan. So we're excited today. This category of an award is transit-oriented development planning. Clearly there's redevelopment that can happen here right by the train station that is going to really benefit the town of Hempstead, the surrounding communities, and really all of Long Island, essentially. Before we get going, I do have to thank the sponsors of this tour. We used to do the Smart Growth Awards with 800-900 people at the Crest Hollow and, you know, sitting around tables and all that. We're obviously not doing that with coronavirus. So we are taking the show on the road, shall we say. But I want to thank our sponsors who are still there. So it's First Equity Title, National Grid, Bartone & Terwilliger, Engel Berman, VHB, GPI, Heartland Town Square, Cameron Engineering, H2M Group, 3rd Street Associates, Mill Creek, RXR, AT&T, Concern for Independent Living, PSEG, and People's Bank. So I want to thank them all, give them a hand for supporting our work, even through, so we've been hitting the road. So with that, now that I've thanked all the sponsors, there are some people who've worked with us for a lot of years who can give testimony to this important plan, and we'll hear more details about the plan in a minute. But one person who can give such testimony is Neil Lewis, who's the head of the Sustainability Institute at Molloy for years, a community activist, environmentalist with Neighborhood Network, and also served on the Nassau County Planning Commission and reviewed this plan. So you review plans all the time, Neil, and you've been a planner and supporter of smart growth and sustainability for a lot of years. So tell us what you think about what's done here, and we'll get into more details. Neil.
Okay. Well, thank you, Eric. Vision Long Island. I've been a member of the Vision Long Island board since its founding. I'm a great supporter of the organization. As Eric said, my name is Neil Lewis. I'm the executive director of the Sustainability Institute at Molloy College, and as my job title would suggest, we support sustainable strategies for improvement of quality of life here on Long Island. Things that are the sort of win-wins that we look for, like promoting downtown redevelopments and promoting smart planning that also works well with our transit system. It's really exciting to see that there has been substantial improvements to the trains on Long Island. Now we need to interconnect those improvements into our downtowns in a way that's really with visionary, basically, which is great for Vision Long Island. So what I wanted to say in terms of identifying projects like this all across Long Island, Vision, I do think it's a great idea. What Vision Long Island is doing this year is to sort of take this on the road and acknowledge and lift up and identify good projects. I think we all can kind of, especially during the quarantine, we can sit around and ruminate about negative things, but Vision Long Island is about supporting good projects, things that are really enhancing our quality of life on Long Island. It's not just, hey, we want to stop this. It's, no, the people that came together here, they worked really hard, they have a really good idea, and let's lift up those kinds of success stories that we just don't hear enough about. And I don't mean to blame the media, but we all focus on negatives in life. It's so much easier to, you know, dwell and ruminate about bad things, and let's talk about some good things. Some good things are happening on Long Island, and Vision Long Island every year does this event of giving out awards for all across Long Island. And so I think it's really exciting to go from one area to another, and today here at the train station in Lawrence, awesome stuff. So as Eric says, I'm a big supporter of planning, been involved in planning for more than 20 years, and so it's these kinds of projects we want to lift up here today. So very excited about this event.
Thanks, Neil. So yeah, no, we got over 40 nominations, and we picked the top 15 awards, actually 14 project awards that we gave out. So this clearly made it. Lots of great reasons as to why this is a great plan, but I'm not going to sit and describe it. The best person who could describe it was the planning group, and certainly the councilman who led the charge. So let's start with Dave Tepper from Cameron Engineering. He's spent 8 years with Cameron. Before that, he was City of Los Angeles.
Yes,
so you made it out. So you made it all the way out here. So West Coast to East Coast. So we got some intelligence. We got some intelligence from the West Coast coming in here, which is great. But Dave Tepper, Cameron Engineering, tell us what happened here.
Sure. Thank you, Eric, and thank you, Vision Long Island. As Eric said, I'm Dave Tepper, representing Cameron Engineering today. And this is really, we've worked on several comprehensive plans, rezoning initiatives. This project really stood out above and beyond a lot of the projects we've worked on. It's an extremely exciting and transformative project that we really feel goes well beyond traditional zoning, which tends to just focus on bulk and use regulations. What we've done here is look at two distinct transit-oriented neighborhoods. Behind us we have the Lawrence Avenue, North Lawrence corridor, and then just to the west we have the Doughty Boulevard Inwood corridor. And together these two corridors, we've separated each into 3 distinct districts, recognizing how each community has its own its own feel, its own neighborhood personality, and really attempted to create a transformative project that really recognizes the diverse community that's here today. So with that, I just wanted to highlight a few of the features of this project. Number one, we really went above and beyond in terms of affordability. This project not only doubles the amount of affordable units required above the Long Island Workforce Act, it lowers the threshold for affordability. Just to give a quick example, we're at 80% AMI for a good number of these units, whereas the Workforce Act is 130% of AMI. So that really makes a big difference in producing meaningful, affordable units for local, for local community members. And just to touch on that quickly, we've built into the code a preference for locals, a preference for first responders, including firemen, police officers, nurses, and veterans as well. We've also baked in a lot of sustainability elements, which are not typically found in your traditional Euclidean zoning, and as well as technology elements into this transit-oriented development, designed to link with ride sharing, with transit, and our proximity to the city over here. Lastly, I just wanted to touch upon what I think is a really exciting element, particularly here at this main intersection at Lawrence Avenue, is a streetscape initiative that will be part of this zoning code, whereas developers are going to contribute to the widening and the beautification of this really important corridor, and hopefully make it a more economically vibrant area and improve walkability for locals. So, thank you very much, and I'll turn it back over to Eric.
Sure. Thank you. So let's give a hand for David and Cameron Engineering, Kevin McAndrew, and also John Cameron. I know we're strongly led the team, and David ran point on this, so we definitely want to acknowledge them. We'll give them an award in a second. But really, the importance of political leadership. Everybody talks about what we need to do on Long Island. There are community leaders who do lead the way. There's chambers that lead the way, but it's really important when there's elected officials who lead the way. For years, the town of Hempstead has not always been creative in their zoning. Let's be candid. And to the credit of Erin King Sweeney and Baldwin, and to the credit, and Doc Gooseby part of that, and others, but here, Bruce Blakeman took this, Councilman Bruce Blakeman took this on his back and took this plan out to the community with all his decades of personal relationships. He was an Nassau County presiding officer. He's been a legislator for years, but he's also a businessman in so many different areas, and he doesn't have to get in the weeds here, but he did. And that speaks volumes when electeds take plans on their back and convince local people and work with local people collaboratively, people they know, people they care about. That's when change occurs. When you use that political capital, when you have those relationships, and you don't just sit back and kind of, put your finger up in the air and say, I don't know, let's see what the public says. They actually he went out to 150 people, and his aide Debbie Pugliese, who took the leadership too, they just went out there and talked to everybody, to their credit. So I'm going to stop talking, and really this award is for his leadership. So Bruce Blakeman, you've just done a great job on this. So we'd love to hear more. Tell us about this community and what you did.
Well, thank you very much, Eric. And first of all, it was a collaborative effort. I want to thank you and Vision Long Island for your support and your leadership in this project. I want to thank Neil for all of his support in the project, and of course Cameron Engineering, represented by David here. They were great partners on this project. They listened to us. They knew what our concerns are. They knew what we wanted to achieve, and they delivered. Most importantly, I want to thank the colleagues that I have on the Hempstead Town Board, who were just terrific. They really were supportive, and couldn't have done it without them. And my staff, Debbie Pugliese, who was mentioned earlier, Charles Covet from the Town Attorney's Office, counsel to the Town Board, Rich Regina, our building department. It was really a great effort. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the stakeholders and the people who surround this community and live in this community. First of all, the Inwood Civic Association, very supportive. The Lawrence Cedarhurst Fire Department, the Inwood Fire Department, the Lawrence Village Board, the Cedarhurst Village Board, the MTA, Nice Bus, Nassau County Police Department, State Department of Transportation, New York City Department of Transportation, who wanted to talk to us about connectivity. I can't leave out any, I'm going to leave out somebody, but really it was a collaborative effort. I accept the award on behalf of all of them. So what we have here is a community that really was in need of rezoning, because you have a mishmash of industrial properties, commercial properties, residential properties, all lumped together. And at night, basically this became a ghost town. We wanted to create a vibrant village, a middle-class village, a transportation-oriented district where people would get out of their cars, they would shop locally, they would take the train into the city for their commute, that we would create a new community that was beautiful, environmentally sensitive, and one that was commercially viable. One, we talked to developers, we talked to business people, because you can't do this and be successful if it's not going to be a project that's commercially viable. So there were so many people involved in this process, and I'm just delighted to accept on their behalf. I was just one of many who worked on this, and in the very near future, you're going to see in Inwood and North Lawrence what is already a great community of people who really care about their community. They're going to have a little village that they've always craved for, and it's going to be transportation oriented. And I think people will use this as a model around the United States for a can-do project that makes sense commercially, takes into consideration all the stakeholders, wants it to be affordable. There's an affordability component, doesn't want to displace people who live in the community. There's a component where a certain amount of the people get preference if you live in Inwood or North Lawrence. Wants to support our veterans, there's a preference for that. Wants to support our first responders. Putting veterans and first responders into this community will only make the community better. It will solidify the community. So basically, I'm so excited about this. I know I go on and on and on about it, but it's really great, and it's going to be a model for a lot of things that we're going to do in the town of Hempstead. I've talked to Supervisor Clavin, my colleagues on the town board, and we have a lot of other communities that we're looking at right now, and I think you're going to see some really, really exciting stuff going forward into the future. So again, thank you so much, Eric, and please tell your board I'm just humbled by this award, and Neil and David, thank you for participating, and let's get it built. Thanks so much.
Great.
All
All right, here we go.
Oh, great.
This is for you. And notice these are coronavirus-friendly awards. Here's for Cameron Engineering as well. I passed this back to John. And they actually have little folks with masks on them sitting here in a cafe.
All right.
So,
Well, thank you. I graciously accept this on behalf of the town board and the residents of Inwood and North Lawrence and the greater community. Thank you so much for this award, and thank you all for your support. Couldn't have done it without you.
Great vision, great plan.
Great.
All right, good stuff.
Thank you.